This is the Our Voice 360 podcast, our perspectives, our way, keeping you in the know while you're on the go. This podcast was created with you in mind. On Our Voice 360, we'll give you inspiration, sports, business and leadership tips, Black history, and entertainment. This is a show built from our perspectives. So if you're ready to be entertained, inspired, laugh a little, be informed, and enlightened, tune in now to Our Voice 360. Let's go! Hey everyone, and thank you for tuning in to Our Voice 360, our perspectives, our ways. I'm your man Chad Bumgarner, 1/3 of the trio here. I have with me my man Pete Hunt.
What's good, family?
And my man Mike Brown, the Don Doc.
Blessings.
All right, with that, Pete, let's go.
And if you would like to be a sponsor of this, contact us at ourvoice360@gmail.com. And as always, we are sponsored by Elect Graphics and Photography. Allow your visions to become reality. And CDB Consulting. Great leadership equals great results. How are you leading? All right, back to you, Chad. What we got today, man?
Hey, before we get started, I just want our listeners and viewers to know that if you have any comments or requests or you want to know anything about us or the show, please contact us at our email address, ourvoice360@gmail.com. And with that, we're gonna dive right in today, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna forego the inspiration. I know a lot of people enjoyed that, and it's not that we're letting it go. It's just that the times and the climate that we're living in right now is very, very fragile, very important, and it needs to be discussed from a point of view. And so with that, we're talking about post-elections and what our current president is trying to do in order to stay in power, along with what his infamous lawyer is out front parading, trying to distract us from what's really going on. And we're going to touch on, the voting process and why all of a sudden it's an issue when it wasn't an issue 4 years ago or 8 years ago. So let's go ahead and get into it, guys. We know that right now, the person who is portraying the president, Trump, him and his, he has sent a team of lawyers, I guess, to Detroit to see about talking to the Detroit officials, the voting or electoral officials, about not certifying the votes, mainly in the city of Detroit, which is AKA a majority Black city. We also know that his previous lawsuits in other cities or states have been kicked out or withdrawn due to sufficient and grossly lack of evidence, and we all knew that to begin. So yeah. I really feel like that was a waste of time and money, but feel free to jump right in. I mean, that's where we're at right now.
Go ahead, Mike.
Go ahead, Pete.
We playing tennis?
I know, right? Well, as you said in your intro, Chad, we are in a very, very serious time right now. And not only as far as, votes and this election, it's being basically overrun by 45 and his lack of being a man, basically being a man, be a man, mm-hmm. and accept your defeat. And by him not doing that, we have found ourselves as a country in a very strange place. We've never been in this situation before that I know of. In my 48 years of living, I don't think we've ever had a situation where a president refuses to accept the voting of the people. Mm-hmm. And it's we're teetering right now on a potential coup. That's where we're at with this right now. And like you said, Chad, it's not that this administration that's in charge right now, because it won't change until January 20th. The administration right now that's running things, it's not that they're going after everybody's vote. They're going specifically after the black vote.
And I find that funny because he got up there running and pitching to the black folks, what do we have to lose? Our communities are failing. Our educational system is crumbling. Our schools are crumbling. What the hell do we have to lose? Only to come back and try to strip us of the votes that we exercise our right to do.
And the truth is going to come out eventually of who. We all know who this dude is. We know he's a racist. He's a bigot. We already knew that. Mm-hmm. But a lot of people, especially in the media, treated him as a joke and thought he can't be serious and this, that, and the third, and yada, yada, yada. And then you wake up November 5th, and this dude is the president-elect. And they treated him like with kid gloves and this, that, and the third, and yada, 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 while he's realizing he didn't want the job to begin with. He just wanted to win. And then he won, and then he saw how much power he could gain out of being the president. So he just took it full bore. And the media, they treated him with kid gloves. Now all of a sudden they want to get real. They want to get serious with him now. That's like not discipline your child until he or she is 16 years old, and then you want to discipline your child.
And wonder why they don't listen.
And then you wonder, exactly, Mike. Then you wonder why.
Or you're not in your child's life from birth until 18, and then all of a sudden you want to show up and play dad, or you want to play mom. A little too late.
Exactly, it's too late now. Yeah. You can't put that toothpaste back in the tube.
Right.
So now he's on this rampage of disenfranchising the black vote, basically. Because if we talk about Michigan and the issues that happened in Michigan, where a couple days ago that two of the Republicans in the county that Detroit is in basically said, we're not going to certify this county because of Detroit. We're not going to certify Detroit's part of it. Now we'll certify everybody else. We're cool with everybody else's vote, the 95% of the white people's vote in the county, but we're not going to hold the Detroit, which is 80% black, their vote legal. That's basically what they were saying. So we're not going to certify the county. Atlanta, the same way. Milwaukee, the same way. They're going after cities that have very extremely high black voter counts. Yeah. So this is a strategic move by this administration to basically disenfranchise the black vote. And as black people, we are in a place right now. And do we really trust? Can we now trust this government and to respect our vote?
We can't. And the sad part about this going forward is the fact that now the vote will always be challenged. To whereas before we've always respected the democracy of the sacred voting act. That was the one thing that I guess made us special as a country. The fact that we use this democratic way to say, hey, this is who we want in power, or this is who we want to represent us in the Senate, or this is who we want to represent the House, and on down and on down. Now, because of this circus and because of this spectacle, now what you're doing is slowly trying to unravel this already fragile piece of democracy that we have called voting. So now going forward, no matter if it's local or state or federal, now there's always going to be somebody or some group that's going to take a page out of this playbook to invalidate the vote or the votes or the voting rights or the voting aspect, if you will, from here on out, because now they see that it can be done. Not saying that it's right, because it's not, because again, like I said at the beginning, when you challenge something, I don't even want to say it's common sense because my dad said if common sense was common, everybody would have it. So 9 times out of 10, when you challenge something or someone, you have to have actual facts or information to back up why you're challenging that person. It's no different when you go to court. If I say, Pete, you were guilty of hitting my car, and I have proof to back up my claim. Exactly. Okay, now we can get somewhere because now we can investigate the data that I have to see if it's valid. But when you make such a huge claim as to voter fraud, or there was a manipulation of ballots, the very next thing, a lot of times, maybe not all the time, but the very next thing people are thinking was, okay, you made this claim. How is it so? How do you prove it? And then when you're asked that and you come out of your mouth and say, well, I don't know, I heard. That right there, it should be case closed. It should be case closed. But media and other people are entertaining this and wasting a lot of taxpayer dollars to investigate something that had no validity to begin with, because they never produced any type of data or facts. And it's frustrating.
It's just, I mean, they have been turned back. This administration has been turned back. I think they've won one case, and I think that was actually in Michigan, to hold I think a few thousand votes, which wouldn't have any consequence. Yeah, exactly. It didn't have any consequence to what's going on now. But it frustrates me to no end that our democracy, which is held at such a high standard, is such a fragile thing. It's super fragile. But as we see right now, because as we were talking about off air before we come on, it only takes one fool to mess up the whole apple cart. We've never had anything in it because we've had people in the position of president of the United States who had some type of decorum. This guy has no decorum. He has no morals.
Childish.
He has none of that. He has none of that.
He is all about himself. Self-preservation. There we go. Self-preservation. That is Donald Trump's only focus. I mean, I know to a lot of people, his niece, her words don't hold out a lot of weight because of the timing of when she came out with what she was saying. But I feel like, well, there's a little smoke, there's some fire, there's some truth to what she's saying. Her timing may be a bit alarming, and it could raise some eyebrows, like, why you coming out now? But if you listen to what she says and you look at his actions, it lines up. And what helps her credibility is the actual voice recordings that she has of her family members talking about Trump. So not to get away from what we're talking about, but it just goes back to her co-signing that he is a very selfish person.
He's unstable,
right? Very unstable. And now he's got his sons running around the country preaching his gospel, his little disciples going around preaching his gospel. And his base is a lot of the uneducated white folks.
Yeah.
A lot of them.
The lower income.
Yeah. And I went to YouTube to look at some videos where you had reporters or people go out and interview these people at these rallies. And I don't want to get too far up, because we're talking about Donald Trump and the voting aspect. But I'm talking about his base, the reason why he's so powerful. They hang on to every word he says without doing any research. Period. I can't make it any more simpler than that. Whatever comes out of his mouth, they take it as the good Lord himself came down and prophesied, and that's it. They do no research. And it boggles the mind how these reporters will sit here and give them facts. about the information that Donald Trump is saying, basically saying Donald Trump is not, what he's saying is not true. Here are the facts. They don't want to hear it. They don't want to research it. Well, if he said it, that's what it is. You'll hear them say that several times. But back to the elections, he's a very dangerous man. He has a huge and dangerous following because I guess we'll get into it eventually about these terrorists, homegrown terrorists, threatening or plotting to overtake, various state governments, and I guess for ransom or for political reasons, until they get what they want politically.
I mean, to me, it feels like we automatically went from a democracy to a dictatorship. And I guess this is what it's like when you're living in a cult. Honestly.
But the dangerous part is, Mike,
huh?
The dangerous part about this is that, to me, is that we're in a vulnerable state as a country.
Yeah.
Other countries are looking at us right now.
And then he talking about
really look unstable. And that's the best time to come get somebody when they're unstable.
And then he was supposed to be out of there, what, the 20th of January?
Yes.
And he talking about pulling all these troops out of different places, and you know what I'm saying? Letting everybody know where the weak spots at.
Look at who he fired. The head of cybersecurity. Got rid of him. Got rid of everybody in these top positions that did not or do not agree with his policies.
And people act like just because to me, here's my thing. Okay, you the president, but you still work for the people.
Right.
I mean, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. And we are supposed to abide by the Constitution, not the president.
Not the Constitution.
The Constitution. Now, if the president was going by the Constitution, then we probably wouldn't have a problem. But we know this president is not that president.
Again, and you were talking about his supporters, Chad. It's basically, this is who they really are. It's who they are as a people in a man. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
The things that they really want to say about people
and do,
he does it.
Yeah.
That's what they see in him.
Yeah.
He's what they are embodied in Donald Trump. Everything that they want to say, everything they wish they could say on their job, everything they could say, wish they could say to black people, everything they wish they could say to immigrants, everything they wish they could say to women. He's the embodiment of that. So that's why they follow him so. And plus, it's the power. Because, they see him as a person that's going to stand up for them. But if we really look at it, he could care less about them folk. He could care less about them.
I watched the video just the other day, and this reporter asked this Trump supporter about the issue with Trump grabbing women by their lower extremities. And he said, so what if he did it? I'm glad he did it. He said, I wish I could do more of it. So it goes back to what you were saying.
That was the Daily Show.
Embodiment, huh?
That was on Trevor Noah's Daily Show.
Yeah. But I'm just going back to reinforce your point is Trump is the embodiment of what these people want to say and do.
Yeah.
He did it like, yeah. He needs to do more of it. I wish I could do it.
And that's what it is. I mean, that's what it really is. And we've said this on earlier podcast. I mean, he's pulled off the scab of the sword, and so now it's able to ooze. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's doing right now, and that's what his followers love about him, is because they wish they could do and say the things that he does,
Right.
because that's who they are. And back to the voting thing. As of today, as we're recording, we have Rudy Giuliani, who is Donald Trump's personal lawyer. He's out here, saying that stuff is rigged and this, that, and the third, and yada yada yada.
Dead people.
Dead people voting and all this other stuff. While that little thing is going on, Donald Trump is flying Michigan GOP people. I mean, they're senators of Michigan and all this other stuff, flying them to Washington to talk to them about all I can assume is not certifying the vote in Michigan. That's all I can, because what else would you be flying people, the GOP powers that be in Michigan? Why else would you be flying them out to Washington to discuss what? What are we discussing? And then come to find out, we were talking about the county that in Michigan that wouldn't certify the votes that Detroit is in. Mm-hmm. The lady and the guy, the two Republicans on the canvassing committee, basically said this morning, as we're recording, it said this morning that Trump called them personally. So what are we doing? Where's the DOJ? Where's the Department of Justice? Since Bill Barr was saying all of this, voting, there was a lot of voting issues going on. You have a dude in the White House that's doing it himself. Why are you not investigating this man?
Yeah,
you have Lindsey Graham.
I was just getting ready to say that. I'm about to say
you have Lindsey Graham calling the Secretary of State of Georgia about getting rid of black votes.
Yeah.
Why are these people not being investigated by the Department of Justice? What's really going on? Because they're part of the coup too.
Yeah.
The potential
Lindsey Graham was basically saying, he was like, well, we're trying to investigate the signatures. How do they validate the signatures on the card? And
that's
like the guy that was running against Lindsey Graham, he said, why are you concerned about what's going on in Georgia? You need to be concerned about your home state and making us better. You're worried about the wrong thing. Number one.
It's just, it's a huge power play by these white Republicans. It's a huge power play because what we've said earlier is they don't want to lose power. They don't want to lose power. That's what it boils down to.
Around about the year.
Mm-hmm. It boils down to white people trying to contain their power. Mm-hmm. And they don't want to let it, because like you said, Chad, this country is growing browner by the minute.
Yeah.
By the minute. So we're in a very, very scary time right now.
Oh yeah.
Because our so-called democracy is hanging on by the thinnest of threads. Because if somehow Trump gets back by some kind of shenanigans, gets back into office, whether it's through states not certifying, or when states don't certify, it goes to the Supreme Court, and the Supreme Court gives him the presidency. What then? What happens then?
So he pretty much just bypassed the election and said, take it to the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Because he's already stacked the Supreme Court.
Yeah. Then at that point, we have a dictatorship.
That's right.
At that point, we're no better than, at that point, we're no better than Russia.
That's right.
We are no better than Saudi Arabia.
Mm-hmm.
We are no better than North Korea. Because at that point, we have a dictatorship, and then nothing else matters.
And that's the way it's headed.
Yeah. There's no more laws. There's no more, because if he somehow, before January 20th, somehow gets this overturned, can you imagine? This dude is gonna be Donald Trump times 1,000.
Mm-hmm. He really gonna blow the dog whistle then.
Bruh, what are you talking about? And then all his little supporters think they just gonna be, they're gonna try to run roughshod. They're gonna try to run up in state houses and kidnap governors. They're really gonna try it. And then you have the and things that we've kind of not really talked about. Then you have police who are on this. Will they stop those people?
Nope.
Because you have police officers that's in this cult as well. As you
they haven't stopped them yet.
As you've seen, they tried to push a Biden a Harris bus off the road. Have we heard anything else about that?
Nope.
They actually literally ran up in the Michigan State House with their guns.
Now imagine if that was an all-black group that did that.
Imagine if it was one black person.
So, and they did nothing. And they did nothing to them. They just had, I don't even want to say it.
Say it.
They had a million MAGA march.
Yeah.
Please come up with your own stuff, please.
And then you can use the name from a man that y'all hate.
Exactly.
Y'all gonna take his
because you're not original. But anyway,
11 people got stabbed at that.
But exactly,
yeah.
They just fight. Them Proud Boys just out there fighting in the street. Couldn't find a rubber bullet. Couldn't find no tasers. None of that. Where was all that at? But black folk marching to the polls in Eastern North Carolina get tear gassed, and they're not doing anything. They're just marching to the polls.
Have a knee on his neck for 8 minutes and some change.
And so we are in a very serious situation right now, as far as the future of this country. Because, like I said, if somehow the Supreme Court makes this guy president, all bets are off. All bets are off.
Yep.
And then I tell my brothers and sisters, my black brothers and sisters, get yourself together. Go get your arms. Fill your pantries full of food. Get plenty of water. Because it's going to get ugly. It's going to get ugly. Because it's going to be marching in the street. You're going to have his people emboldened to think they can do any and everything to people. So, I mean, again, man, we are in a tough time right now, Chad. We are balancing on something that's really not stable.
Yeah.
And Donald Trump was the person to really show us our democracy ain't as great as we've thought it was.
Because he's picked at every loophole and pothole in it that he possibly could have.
And nothing has been done. The Republicans who say they're so law and order and this, that, and the third, where they at? They backing this dude up.
Half of them scared.
That's what I'm saying. They scared of him.
Half of them scared to break rank.
I mean, you got grown men out here kowtowing to this dude. This dude told a senator that his wife was ugly, and this dude didn't do nothing about it. You tell me my wife is ugly in my face, I'm slapping the taste out your mouth.
With no question.
On GP. On
just
general
like,
principle.
You will have a corona because you can't taste nothing.
Exactly.
Or smell.
on GP. You get the taste slapped out of your mouth on GP. I mean, open hands. I ain't gonna punch you. You're gonna get the open hand. You know that's the most disrespectful.
Now are you going? Now hold on. Are you coming down and going up backhand, or are you up coming down open hand? How you?
Oh, you going backhand? I'm giving you the most disrespect. I'm giving you the open backhand.
Oh, so you coming across the body?
I'm coming across the body. Yeah,
and you know you got that. You know you got that golfing arm.
I know, right?
That's the swing.
Yeah. So you getting the most disrespect. But and I know let's go back to something that we discussed a little bit off air that I was reading. Article was posted that in Michigan, you know that the governor of Michigan, they're not militia groups. Let's stop calling them that. They're not militia groups. They're domestic terrorists.
They're terrorists, yeah.
You know, they're domestic terrorists who, you know, a few months ago or a couple months ago had a plot of kidnapping the governor of Michigan.
That's right.
Come to find out now, they had a plan B. From what I read in this article, that not only were they going to overtake the state house, they were planning to do executions of public figures and public government officials, of government officials on public TV. What are we doing? And that's the type of stuff that this administration has emboldened. These are the type of people who used to be in the background.
Yeah.
Who used to be we thought was up in the woods.
Oh, they were. They were getting ready for this moment.
Yeah. And he has given them this moment to be who they were. Well, they were already that, to be out front with it. Yeah. I don't get it.
Oh, I get it. I get it. It's all about Donald J. Trump. That's what it's all about. So if I can dog whistle and get people riled up and subliminally give them orders and have chaos amongst the country, that deters them from paying attention to me while I make a run for the top position in the land, which is the presidency. That's what it's all about. I don't care if these people go out here win or lose, as long as they distracted and I can get what I want, because this is going to help me build Trump Towers all over the world. This is going to help me make money all over the world. He is only thinking about himself. So it makes perfect sense to me. And the sad part about it is his base don't even get it.
Nope.
His base don't get it. They don't understand how weak they are and weak-minded they are, because if they did just an inkling of research, they would see that everything they believe about him is not what it appears to be. But see, the thing is, they don't want to believe. They're in love with this notion that he is the embodiment of what we really are.
Exactly. Like I said
earlier. And they want to keep that fantasy.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. He is, like I said, he is saying and doing things that they wish they could do.
Mm-hmm.
See, because you know they do that at the job. Either they do that to somebody black, they're gonna get beat up and lose their job. In most cases. I mean, but since this show, this podcast is what it is, my question to you guys are, as a people, as black people, what do we do? If something pops off crazy, what do we do as a people?
Defend yourself. What'd you say, Chad?
No, I was about to say what we've always done, man. Come together, plan, strategize. First of all, we got to get rid of the ones who don't think like us.
The infiltrators.
Yes. We're going to have to get rid of them. The rest of us are going to have to be the family that we've always been. You got to understand, Pete, we're living in unprecedented times. These are times that we've never seen before in our lifetime. Doesn't mean it hasn't happened before in a different aspect. I say that to say, regardless of what has happened on the planet, on this planet Earth, we have always endured and survived. You have to understand that black man is the original man. We are nature. And if you know anything about nature, nature always wins. Nature always wins. We will come out of this. We will come out of this. It's going to be a fight. And it's going to take us to areas mentally and physically, spiritually and emotionally that we've never been to before. But I do believe we will come out of this and come out on top. It's going to be a fight, though.
I'm glad.
Every 10, 50, 100 years or whatever, we always run into a major situation.
Well, I really am. I'm glad you're taking the peaceful route, Because I am not.
No, I'm saying it's going to be a fight. I've said that. It's going to be a fight.
What I'm saying, like I've said before, when I took my oath to the United States Navy, I prepared to defend against foreign and domestic terrorism. So I'm going to say it like this. Speaking for me and my household, they get stupid, I'm getting stupid. I mean, this is point blank. I ain't going to let you do nothing to me.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I refuse to sit back and put it like this. I refuse to stand down and stand by. Because when they do something stupid, which I see coming, either way this thing goes, it's like either way, you damned if you do, damned if you don't. If he gets his way, they gonna raise hell. Woo! If he don't get his way, they gonna raise hell. Woo! But a little bit more stupider. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. All I know is this. I'm tired. I'm tired, man. I honestly, like, you know, it aggravates me, and I'm gonna say this. Bruh, marching ain't got us nothing. Marching and holding up signs don't scare these people. They know that's shit. They ain't gonna do nothing but march. You know what I'm saying? But they marching with guns though. It's a difference. When somebody can shoot you and then somebody can throw a sign at you, which one you want? I take the sign over the bullet any day. But I mean, that's just, you know, that's just my point of view, man. It's time to reciprocate exactly what we get. And when you do that, that's when change happens. And I hate that, and I'm not inciting violence and none of that. I'm just saying, as for me and mine, bring it if you want to.
I'm gonna tell you what, these type of people only pay attention to three things. Let me see if I can get this right. The spill of their own blood, the death of their own people, and money. When any one of those three happen to them, then they're willing to sit down at the table like, okay, let's talk this out. When they people start dying, when they people start spilling a lot of blood, or when they start losing money,
because we've been dying.
We've been spilling blood. We ain't never had no money. So when that happens to them, then they will respect us more and come to the table like, okay, what can we do to fix this?
Sometimes it's too late to fix. I hate to say it like that, but I mean, sometimes it is. Like, this election has really shown me who a lot of people really are that I thought were associates of mine.
Mike, you better speak on it. You better speak on it, Mike.
I mean, just, it's not so much as they say who they're voting for, because everybody has their own reasons to vote for whoever. But it's the reasons why they say they voting for them. I'm like, oh, but you cool with me every day, but that's how you really feel? You feel me? I'm telling you, man, this election, this presidency has brought the cat out of the bag. It has become the elephant in the room. Now everybody's side-eyeing everybody. You know what I mean? Even some of our own people. Like, really? I had a black dude, associate of mine. I ain't even gonna call him no friend. Associate. This fool done said Trump has done so much for us. Bruh, done so much. For, what it did for you? Cause you still broke as hell, like you been broke. So what's he doing for you? I said, see, that's why you brainwashed, partner.
But see, that's what get me is when you ask them questions like that, like opportunity zones. You know, he created opportunity zones for us. I said, okay, but look who's taking advantage of the opportunity zones, because it's sure not the black people. It's the Asian folk. It's the Korean folk. It's the Chinese folk. Everybody's coming into our neighborhoods taking advantage of these opportunity zones, but we're not getting a chance to. And it was supposed to be set up for us to take advantage of, but we're not getting the information. So how is he helping us? Again, please help me understand. This morning, I was doing some research because I sent some stuff off to my frat brother. And I'm like, look, check this out. Department of Labor, I'm looking at the black unemployment rate from 2010 to 2020. And if you look at the trend, it goes down, 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 down. All 8 years of President Obama. And even before, it was slightly going down. And when Trump took over, it was still going down. So it's not necessarily a credit to him. He's riding the tidal wave, if you will, but going down. Now it bounces back up 2019, drops a tad bit, and then it spikes 2020. You see what I'm saying? So when you talk about what he's done, I need for you to give me some facts. Everybody loves to spit the same spin. Talking points. But they never give me meat and potatoes to go along with what they're saying. They're just saying, well, he did this. Just like with the wall. Mexico's paid for the wall. We're paying for the wall. Most of what's been done to the wall is repairs. Okay, fine. As far as new wall has been built, only 5 miles of new wall has been built. And guess who's paying for that? We are. Not the Canadians, not the Mexicans. We are. When he ran, he said he's going to make Mexico pay for it. The president and the former president of Mexico got on social media and said, Trump, you can kiss out. You know what? We ain't paying for no wall. And they have not gave 1 red cent, or like my grandma say, 1 iota of money for that wall. We have paid for that wall. So when you talk about what has he done, and I've already spoke about the HBCUs, he's talking about the black colleges. That was not him. Matter of fact, that was during President Obama's reign. And then asking for money or more money was Kamala Harris and another senator. How do I know that? I listened to the president of Dillard University, a black HBCU, say on TV that he has the letter that was created by Senator Kamala Harris and this other senator, I can't remember his name.
Cory Booker.
Okay. Asking for more money. So see, this plan was in place before he got into presidency. It was about to expire. Okay. So he allowed it to continue, but he ain't did nothing for black colleges because the money never got expanded. It was $80 million. Now take $80 million and divide it amongst, I think, how many black colleges? I think we have a little over 100 black colleges in the United States. Take $80 million and divide it by 100, 105 colleges. What is that going to give a college?
Chad, see what you're getting confused on.
Okay.
And I respect everything that you're saying, brother, because if it was about what you're talking about, it would be different. But this is not about policy. This is not about policy with him.
Right.
This is not about what he could do for anybody. Again, this is about him being the embodiment of what his supporters want to be. They don't care. They could care less. See, when he said something about building a wall, they stood up with their chest out saying, we gonna stop brown people from coming to our country. That's who they are. So he embodied what they felt. When he called African countries shithole countries, that's what they want to say. That's what they want to say. So he said it. So, man, he's our guy. When he says COVID is a hoax and it's fake news, guess what? We don't want to wear masks. He's saying everything that we want to say. and do. So
Not
guess
we,
what
they.
Yeah, they, excuse me, they.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you, sir, for correcting me. They. I don't want to wear no mask. You're infringing on my rights by wearing a mask. Man, if you don't shut up. But it's never been, it's the only policy that they love and that they understood, if he was blocking somebody of color from being either over here or being able to prosper here.
Well, when he banned the Muslims, boy, they was happy as hell. You hear me?
You'd have thought it was the first of the year.
You see what I'm saying?
New Year celebration.
You know what I'm saying?
Those are the only policies that they care about. Outside of blocking people of color from being able to thrive, outside of that, it's not about policy. It's about the racism. It's about the power.
You're exactly right, because I've seen interviews with older white women about Trump, and they said, so it doesn't bother you that he's been on tape about grabbing women by the extremities, or these sexual harassments, or him paying off, strippers or anything of that. Well, everybody makes mistakes. I just like his policy. I like what he's trying to do with the economy, and I'm like, so you just negate his moralness.
It's like I said.
So you don't care how he talks about women and talks to women, and how he treats them.
Did those 55% not just tell you what they feel about being a woman? They don't care nothing about that. They care about the power. They care about, like in the last podcast, per capita during slavery, the white woman was way more treacherous than the male white slave owner. Please believe it. That is documented fact. So it's about the power with them. It's not about the ethic. I mean, I'm not going to paint this broad brush that it's all white women, but 55%.
55% says a lot.
That's over half. That's the majority.
Just told us in this last election how they really feel. And if you look at their marches, if you look at his little gatherings, as we call them, who's in the crowd hollering the most?
White women.
There you go.
White women.
So it's never about policy with him. It was never about policy, unless the policy was stopping people of color from achieving. Right. That's the policy that they cool with. And of course abortion, which is really strange to me, because you care about the baby in the womb, but you don't give a damn about the child when it come out of the womb.
Hold on. I got something to say about that my damn self, because here's my take on this whole abortion thing, because I had a conversation with my 17-year-old daughter about this, and I really feel like when it comes to this particular policy, anybody who has a penis attached to them
needs to shut the hell up.
This is not your fight. Who are you to tell a woman what to do with her body?
Exactly.
Well, she can't have an abortion and the baby's 7 months or the baby's 2 years. That is her body. Now, there has been an argument. Well, what if the male who helped produce the baby say, well, I want the baby.
Well, then you keep the baby.
It's not your body. Last word, last say should go to the person who has to carry and care for that child for 9 months, if she so chooses to.
But
go ahead, hit me.
Because I play devil's advocate.
Of course, yeah, of course.
If we
support.
sit down and talk about it, and I say, we are in no position to have this baby, and you get on your high horse and do it anyway, then why still got to pay child support? I told you we weren't in no position for this.
Mm-hmm. I agree. Then you just need to make her sign a document saying that if I had a child, I'm on my own.
Yeah, but
on my own.
No, but I see your point. But I'm still sticking with what I'm saying, man.
Yeah.
So many promises.
It has the last say on what happens to her body.
Yeah.
Never should
I
be
see.
spoken.
Like it's a fool.
but again, I mean, we're getting back to what's going on, the voting and all that other stuff that's going on right now. It's just, brothers. All I can say is be prepared.
Yeah.
Brothers and sisters, be prepared, because there's going to be some foolishness that's going to go down. It's going to be some fool. And Chad, like you always said, which is sad that you said earlier, as black folk, we're going to survive.
Yeah.
And it's a doggone shame that we have to survive. We have to survive everything.
Right.
We survived slavery. We survived Jim Crow.
Yeah.
We survived the 60s.
Mm-hmm.
As a people, we always have to survive. We've never lived in a state of being comfortable.
Right.
Which is sad.
Yeah, ever.
Which is sad, because there's no country without us. We built all of this.
What's that phrase that writer, the brother said? To be a black man in America is to be frustrated or angry every day, something to that effect.
Yeah, James Baldwin.
Yeah, and I know I'm a few years back when I first saw it, I was like, that's interesting. But the more you chew on that, man, it is so true.
It is
so true.
I mean, we wake up every day
with anxiety.
No, I mean the PTSD.
I was just going to.
The PTSD that black folks have, whether it's from slavery, from Jim Crow, it's so ingrained in us as a people. We're born with it.
You know what? I read
an article. We're born with PTSD. We're born.
It's in our DNA.
It's in our DNA because we've had to survive, as you said, Chad, so much as a people. We've had to survive this and that and this and that, and we still have to. I was talking to, and I know we're going back and forth on topics, but I was talking to some people at my job, and they were talking about the vaccine, the COVID vaccine. Mm-hmm. And of course, the topic is, are you going to take it or are you going to take it, and blah, 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 blah. And my thing is this: I'll take it if I see if it works for you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna be the guinea pig.
No, I said black. I said black folk, like I told them, which of course they didn't look like me, and of course, and several of them didn't know what I was talking about. I said the last time they came up, they said they had a vaccine for something.
We got syphilis.
We got syphilis, and a whole bunch of us died.
And then they want to apologize years later.
The Tuskegee experiment is
my bad.
Yeah, the Tuskegee experiment is in the front of my mind, not the back. It's in the front of my mind. So any vaccine that you come out with, I'm gonna have to pass on that because look here.
I have an issue with this because all vaccines that come full circle and are available to the public usually take 5 years.
Minimum.
At least.
Minimum.
Takes 5 years to get to the public.
And 10 years to actually get to the point where, we know it's effective.
Right. And we know the side effects and everything.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But you got one now because this virus is running rampant so much that now you've got one done in less than a year. Is that right?
8
less
months.
than a year? Maybe a little over a year?
8 months.
Less than a year? Less than a year. So one or two things.
Somebody lying.
Either you've been working on this before this stuff came out, or
it really didn't take that long to start with.
I thank you, Mike. Thank you.
People just die for no reason.
I mean,
me personally, I don't think, however this was let out, you ain't gonna let this out without having some kind of vaccination. With some kind of what is it called? An antidote?
Okay, let me ask you this. Now, I'm a conspiracy theorist. When y'all were young, do y'all remember the airplanes that used to fly above with all that white smoke coming out the back?
Oh, the chemtrails. What you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
What was coming out the back of them planes?
What was it? Zinc? I'm not sure.
Why? But why? Why would it?
Well, if you notice, it was only over certain areas.
Really?
Hmm.
You sure about that now?
It's only over certain areas, and those areas were heavily populated by people that look like us, and it's called killing you slowly. They can't just run through the streets and just shoot all the black people. That would be.
Yeah. So with the whole killing you slowly, once something hits the atmosphere, you have no control over where it goes.
Well, that's true.
You know what I'm saying?
That is true.
Ever since COVID, you ain't seen no planes flying, nothing like that, have you?
That's true. It's funny because even over in India, they said the smog has cleared up so much they can actually see the mountains over there.
They probably didn't know they was living at the mountains. Oh my goodness, I did not know.
They said, stop. But they said the earth is turning slower because we stopped so much vibration and pollution that the earth is starting to heal. It's a beautiful thing on one end, but on the other end, we got people dying that don't really need to be dead. All because of your president played down the whole situation that it didn't exist and that it was a hoax.
Till 90 days later when it all came out. All right, I didn't want to scare anybody.
But
now he claimed it was a hoax, but now you see him every once in a while he'll have a mask on. Bro, if it's a hoax and you still claiming that, why are you wearing a mask?
Well, the hoax when you had it.
Now that, I hate to say it. No, I ain't gonna say it. It was funny. It was very ironic.
No, it was funny.
That you
I mean, it's really funny to me. You talked all that junk about everybody. It's a hoax, fake news.
You recovered the fastest. But see, there again plays into your policies. You had a dozen health personnel at your beck and call around you.
Top health personnel. Let's rephrase that. The best at Walter Reed Hospital.
The best at your beck and call, and you were giving drugs that's not even on the market.
That's why you felt so great.
But now you got people out here dying and on incubators that are being pushed out of the hospital because of their insurance or lack thereof. And you said you weren't taking away people's insurance for pre-existing situations, but at the same time they was in court fighting to get rid of it. And this is the research that his followers will refuse to go look up and research.
They don't care nothing about that.
I know,
Chad,
Pete.
I know you trying. Chad, you trying to give them the benefit of the doubt, but there's no benefit of the doubt there.
I just hate that people are willingly wanting to be ignorant.
Let me that just brings me to a point that I was watching the interview with Van Jones and Busta Rhymes. And Busta Rhymes said a quote. He said that when you can no longer dispute the truth, you have to conform to it. When you can't dispute what's the truth in your face, then at some point you're gonna have to conform to it. You know what I'm saying?
Somebody tell Trump that.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell him. I'll send him a link to the video. That's what I'll do. But
yeah. I mean, we're right now as a country, we're in a really bad place. We're in a really bad place, and as a people, as we always do, because the cream always rises to the top. We always rise to the top. We always rise to the occasion, no matter what we go through as a people, no matter what happens. At the end of the day, we gonna be here, regardless.
I mean, I hate to ruffle feathers. I ain't trying to piss nobody off, but we are the chosen people. I'm just gonna leave that alone.
An old man told me one time. He said, "Do you know why?" And I've probably said this before. Do you know why there's, a liquor store in just about every black community that you go into? He said, because the black man, woman, and child are God's eyes. We are the eyes of God. God sees the world through us. We are his eyes. So if the devil can keep us inebriated, keep us high, keep us drunk, the vision is unclear. He can't see clearly. If the eyes are crossed, if the eyes are not seen properly, he can't see the world the way it should be.
Go ahead now.
I'm just saying, if our people would realize who we really are, how we are the salt of the earth. There's no race of people who's been through more ish than the black man, woman, and child.
Yep.
And guess what? We still here. And we still affect everything. We affect everything. Nothing moves without us.
That's right.
Music doesn't move without us. Art, science, whatever the case may be, doesn't happen without us.
Trendsetters.
That was when that gentleman told me that, I was just like, whoa. God sees the world through us. That's why dope, crack was put into our community. Heroin, alcohol, all types of drugs. Because if the eyes are blinded, or if it's inebriated to where you can't see straight, things don't happen. That's all I got. We are the salt of the earth. We are the eyes of God. Whatever God you pray to, we the eyes. They see the world through us. The original man, woman, and child. It is what it is. Like I said, Chad, I don't care about your feelings. It is what it is.
Indeed.
It is what it is, because my thing is this: I love my people that much to let them know who they are. And how important we are to the grand scheme of things. Because you said no matter what goes on with this presidency, no matter what goes on, if he takes over, whatever, at the end of the day, we're still going to be here as a people.
Like your boy, what's the rapper name? He said, "We gonna be all right." We are.
Kendrick
Lamar. I ain't heard of no truer statement. We gonna be all right. It might hurt a little bit. We might get a little frustrated. We gonna be all right. We're gonna be all right.
No doubt about it. No doubt about it. So again, folks that listened and watch our podcast. I mean, it is what it is. Our perspectives, our way. Keywords, our.
That's right. Our perspectives, our way.
And I mean, it is what it is. And our people are resilient. Our people are strong. Our people, again, will get through whatever turmoil that goes on in this country. Our people are going to get through it, because guess what?
We always have.
This country won't survive without us. I said it last week. If we would ever ascend to the point where we would go back to Africa and where, go back to the place where our people originated, this place would fall apart. This country would, because again, they can't be original. There's no originality. Everything that they have was stolen from us. Million MAGA March. Come on, man. You just named your march after a dude that you despise. Which actually had 1 million black men there.
They said it was more than that, actually.
It was more than that. Documented.
Exactly. Who really, actually, for real, had 1 million black men there in Washington. So again,
with no violence.
None.
You can't even get 200,000 of y'all. 11 people stabbed.
It just, but in all honesty, and this is going to be my last point. My brothers and sisters and children of the black culture, we gonna be good. Like you said, Chad, we gonna be all right, no matter what happens. No matter what happens, because we have survived the worst atrocity in human life. Not only the 400 years of slavery, but the 8 million black folk that died in the slave trade from getting from Africa here. The 8 million that died, which they don't like to tell you about. They'll tell you about the Holocaust, but they won't tell you about the African Holocaust. Okay, okay. I'm done. Okay. Ooh, okay. That might be another whole podcast, but go ahead.
Yeah. Mike, any last words before we wrap up, man?
Yeah. You are not qualified.
Here, what we got, Mike?
You are not qualified to be my president. If you have never eaten all the noodles from the spaghetti and meatballs and took the sauce and made a sloppy Joe. Well, y'all done took that spaghetti sauce and made a sloppy Joe, put it on that bread. All the noodles gone. Now tell me you ain't done that.
Ask me no questions, I tell you no lie.
No lie. I know that's right.
Anything?
Oh man. Nah, I'm good. I think I've spoken my piece. Hold on. You are not qualified to be my president. After you've eaten all the lemon heads or the Boston baked beans and used the box
to blow in
harmonica. You know, Mike, Chad, we used to put that box in our mouth.
Yeah.
See, that's creativity. We made musical instruments out of box, candy box.
Okay, I got one. I'm gonna wrap it up with this. You are not qualified to be my president if you have not, during the summer in East Hickory, walked through the streets, collected bottles to turn them in for 5 cents a piece to buy you some penny candy after you finish collecting them.
What you talking about?
I got one better than that. You are not qualified to be my president if you ain't never had to lay across your mama lap and she go in your ear with that bobby pin, clean your ears out. And you like this. What's that your ass feel?
Ladies and gentlemen, we want to thank you so much for tuning into Our Voice.
Oh my goodness.
Our perspectives, our ways. Before we leave, we're going to end with the Bible verse or quote for the week. And it's coming from Hebrews chapter 13, verse 5. And it reads.
That's about making coffee, ain't it?
Don't love money. Be satisfied with what you have. For God has said, I will never fail you. I will never abandon you. My people, we must remember that the architect of this universe is also the architect of the original man. He is not going to leave you nor forsake you, but we have to remain faithful and diligent, that he sits high and looks low. And that, again, in the famous words of Kendrick Lamar, we gonna be all right.
Or the famous words of Jada Kiss, we gonna make it.
Ooh, we gonna make it. We gonna make it. We gonna make it.
Or
I need to play that today.
Go ahead, famous words of Public Enemy. Don't trust it.
I thought you were gonna say don't believe the hype.
It take a nation of millions to hold us back now.
That's what it said.
Yeah.
Don't.
Ladies and gentlemen, again, thank you so much. Be safe, be blessed.
Thank you.
We
Thank
are
you.
out.
Peace.
Peace.
If you enjoyed this podcast, be sure to like and subscribe to the channel so you can be notified when a new show drops. Please rate and review this podcast and share it with your friends. Also, if you'd like to advertise or become a sponsor, please send an email to ourvoice360@gmail.com with your inquiry. We'll connect with you as soon as possible in hopes of creating a great partnership. And as always, thank you for tuning in to Our Voice 360. Our perspectives, our way, keeping you in the know while you're on the go. See you next week.